Hey y'all, happy Saturday. Yeah. We're going to be getting started in just a second. In the meantime, I have pinned my new channel in this chat. Please go ahead and subscribe. Support your girl over here. Appreciate you. I'm ready.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Here's God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Peace, world peace. Welcome or welcome back. It's God is Dawn, and you're on God is Dawn Speaks. Yep. Saturday night. It's already March 18th. Oh my gosh. So, I think we're still in Pisces season. So, shout out to all my Pisces. I believe the Venus has moved into Pisces, actually. A lot of love in the air. Including over here. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat. I see you, Wild Wayne, Joel Jackson, Chrissy Power, Baby Yoda. Thank you guys for hopping on in. Yeah, it's just a regular Saturday night. Ms. Della, I'm gonna drop the link for you so we can find out what's gonna happen with Trump on Tuesday. I'm hearing some things, but in the meantime, listen. I came across a couple things. I wasn't planning on talking about R. Kelly, believe you me, but one of my subscribers, I'll just say RL, thank you for sending me the video. She sent me this interview, and this person claims to be a nephew of Michael Jackson's, first of all. And he says he had an encounter at the age of 14 with R. Kelly, and it sounds crazy. So we're going to talk about that. And while I was looking into that, because I was trying to look up this nephew, I didn't find a whole lot. And what I did find is questionable. So you're going to have to take this with a grain of salt. But while I was looking that up, I found this story about Michael Jordan. Interesting. It looks like quite a few outlets had picked it up back in December of last year, where he made some comments about R. Kelly when he was on when he, did the music for Space Jam, or, I Believe I Can Fly. He said, R. Kelly was the go-to and the GOAT at that time for, blockbuster music. So he went to him for the soundtrack, and had some other things to say. I'm actually going to pull it up on the screen. How y'all doing tonight on this Saturday? Y'all feeling good? Relaxing? All right. Now, this article, like I said, it's in a couple places. Now, they got me because when I first saw this particular link, I thought it was from USA Today, but it's actually US Today or Us Today News, and this is their sports section. Now, this article is from December 4th of 2022. It says, in the headline, it just says, quote, out of nowhere, he just pulls out his Johnson and starts pissing on Lola Bunny. It says, at the time, Michael Jordan apologized for R. Kelly's disruptive behavior on the set of Space Jam. So, yeah, let's just read the article. Oh, it is USA Today. It's USA Today Sports. Okay, so that's a little more credible. It says, with his soothing voice and charismatic looks, award-winning R&B singer R. Kelly convinced a number of showbiz folks that he was their type when it came to a big project. In the wake of Joe Pitka's 1996 blockbuster Space Jam, Michael Jordan took everything about R. Kelly at face value and approached the singer to write the film's official soundtrack, I Believe I Can Fly. A single not only approached the film, but even more so for his airness legacy. It says MJ was wrong due to the lack of media exposure at the time. Not everyone was aware of R. Kelly's alter ego. As it turns out, behind the laudable singer and actor was a suspected sex and pedo. Jordan once saw a red flag on the set of Space Jam, but he didn't make a big deal out of it. Okay, this is the part we need to be listening to. Years later, R. Kelly's sex crimes were exposed, and MJ regretted rubbing elbows with the self-proclaimed king of R&B. In quotes, it says, I knew him, R. Kelly, was a creep. Everyone knew, Jordan said of Der Sport Rag in 2019. He even came on set one day to watch us shoot the movie, and out of nowhere, he just whips his Johnson. And then says in parentheses, we don't know why Jordan used that term to refer to the penis, but you're free to guess. And I think they're referring to the fact that he had this, basketball rivalry with Magic Johnson. So anyway, it says that he whips out his Johnson and starts peeing on Lola Bunny, who was like that, portrayed by a then 7-year-old. And that's confusing to me because I thought it was a cartoon. It says he even started singing to her along the way. Things like, Lola, won't you nibble on that carrot and let me hop down your rabbit hole? He added. We smoked a few cigars afterwards and laughed about it together, and I bought all of his albums for the last few decades, but I now see that was wrong. Space Jam was a huge hit movie, however, we could totally understand why Jordan still considered it a mistake, as no one in their right mind would ever want to be associated with a now convicted sex trafficker. R. Kelly, it says. MJ once said an NBA comeback in 2001 was one of the bad decisions he ever made. This is a horribly written piece. Says but apparently starring in a movie like Space Jam also has its spot on the GOAT's list of regrets in life. He said he's really sorry. I was young, stupid and made a lot of strange decisions back then. I was in a basketball movie with Daffy Duck, for God's sake, Jordan said. Regardless of R. Kelly's negative impact on MJ and how he views his past with Space Jam, the R&B singer will never spoil one thing, the basketball legacy of his airness, so they say. So yeah, I don't this is a weird story. Have y'all heard this story before? This is the first time I've heard about this. It looks like he just came out with this in this the last December, this past December, probably in the wake of all of the convictions and everything. It does get a person to thinking when you have interacted with a person and you start hearing things about them later in life and you go back and think like, okay, well, maybe that's what that meant, or maybe that's what this meant when this person said that. Now I get it. I don't know, but I have never heard this before. Y'all chat, y'all frozen in the chat. Okay, there you go. Baby Yoda says no, disgusting. So wait, let's just get an understanding here of what really happened, because it's weird. I thought this was a cartoon. So was it a stuffed animal, a person in a costume? Okay, so here's what he said happened. He said he even came on set one day. Well, let me actually give the first sentence, because that's actually the best sentence. That he said, I knew him. R. Kelly was a creep. They put R. Kelly in parentheses, but he said basically, I knew he was a creep. Everyone knew. He even came on set one day to watch us shoot the movie, and out of nowhere, he just whips his Johnson and starts peeing on Lola Bunny, who was like then 7 years old. And that's just weird. What is this for real? Then he said he started singing while he was doing it. He's like, Lola, won't you won't you nibble on that carrot? How would he say it? And let me hop down your breast. That sounds like something he would say. He said we smoked a few cigars afterwards and laughed about it. I mean, that's not funny. If that is true, what's funny about that? Especially with his reputation. Is that, I mean, come on now. And I guess this could lead me into the next R. Kelly story, because I don't know if this is true either, because I don't know. I was listening to it. Someone sent me this link. I was just doing things around the house. I was listening to it and I was like, what? It's just so outrageous, but it's kind of like right in R. Kelly's wheelhouse with regard to creepiness and like what his creep level is. Let me pull this up. Now I'm gonna have to play it from a different device, but I'm gonna put the picture on the screen. So, what do y'all think about Michael Jordan and what he said? Y'all all right? All right, I'm gonna drop this link as well. Wow, Wayne, you coming up again tonight? All right, so as you can see on the screen, there's like a panel of gentlemen, and the title of this video is R. Kelly Exposed. Insider comes forward. Now this YouTube channel, somebody named Too Strong, they have 110 subscribers, and this is what they said in the description of this particular video. This video has over 19,000 views, and it just streamed the beginning of March. But I don't know when this actually happened, but it was just uploaded recently. But it says the real story behind R. Kelly's predatory behavior has been suppressed by the media, and his victims are silenced to save face. Today, we will take apart the facade of R. Kelly to get a clear look at what lies behind it. Maga, the nephew of Michael Jackson, revealed that R. Kelly tried to sign him in the past, but didn't because he was involved with Illuminati at the time. Maga initially claimed prison is where R. Kelly will ultimately end up for his agreement with secret society, and he was right. R. Kelly was convicted on child porn charges in federal court, which we know. Okay, let's see. He said there was nothing a secret society could do to save him this time around. However, there are other aspects of the story that have not yet been revealed. We have someone who is willing to talk about them, someone who has a first-hand account of what happened. So this person supposedly has a first-hand account of a situation, an encounter with R. Kelly. Miss Stella.
Hello. Hi,
Hey.
everyone.
Yo. I'm gonna pull up this audio. We're gonna talk about Trump after this.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna play this whole. I don't know if I listen to this whole thing, but let's see how it goes. How's your Saturday going?
Nice and relaxing.
That's perfect. Okay. Oh, that's a different account. Okay, what is this channel called? Too Strong.
Let me know before you get ready to play it. That article by Michael Jordan, it does seem just like something he would do. I mean, it's nothing that's shocking anymore when it comes to him.
Exactly. Okay, hold on. But it sounds out there, but I'm like, why? So this is the thing. Michael Jordan never came out and said anything before. With all this has been going on for all these years, it's the first time we've heard something come out of his mouth about R. Kelly. As far as I don't, as far as I know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, dude, where you been? And these people, it's a lot of these people in the industry. They got all kind of R. Kelly stories. We're probably gonna be hearing more.
They figure he's behind bars. Let me just bring everything out.
It's safe now. Okay, I have to actually forward this link. I'm going through a whole lot, but just give me a second. Okay. Can you see the chat by chance?
I'm getting my other iPad. Hold on.
What? You telling me you don't have that iPad dusted and out, the new one?
Yes. I have my new iPad, but you asked me if I can see the chat.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see it on the iPad?
No. So I had to open up the other one. Now I can see the chat.
And that's why I'm confused when you're on StreamYard, on the link in the invite link. I thought you could see there's a button at the bottom that says chat, no? On the bottom of your
Yeah,
screen?
but that's only a chat between you and I.
Really?
Yes.
Because there should be a private and a public. That's
Nope, there's
weird.
only one chat there. Now hold on, it is a thing that says more comments. Oh yeah, if I do that, then I can't see you no longer.
Well, okay, I see. All right. Well, I think I got this
Yeah,
audio
let
up.
me try it. Chat. Now you don't got me something new now. Now I'm in here playing around with it.
I mean,
I can see the chat. The last thing I see is no discussing, and you put the stream yard.
the chat is quiet tonight. Y'all are just chilling, huh? Okay. All right. So let's hear some of this audio from this guy. He's supposed to be, and it's the guy at the hat with the hat on in the bottom at the bottom who's supposed to be the insider. Let me see.
Oh, that's really odd, brother.
They can see and hear us on Facebook just fine, though.
Well, hmm. Nope.
Well,
No strikes.
okay, then it's just they don't like us.
You hear that, Wow Wayne? Wow. He was doing your jam. Where are you at, Wow Wayne? I feel like you done dipped out. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. Okay. Hey,
Yeah, there ain't no
Michelle
strikes or
Hurd.
nothing there.
This is proof, Corey, that they don't like us. Oh, we're live now.
Oh, it's on now?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There we go.
It's just a little small hiccup. It'll be all right. We ain't gonna sweat the technique. We're gonna get it moving and make this thing work, right? So, like I said, Maga had.
So just to give you so you know what's going on. The guy at the top left with the plaid shirt on, he's the one that's kind of moderating and speaking initially. And Maga, I think he renamed himself Maga because when I looked at his TikTok, he got some Trump stuff going on there, and I can't tell if he's being real or facetious. So I don't know what nephew this is supposed to be of Michael Jackson's, but the one in the hat and the two at the top, I guess this is their YouTube. Okay.
At a I'm gonna let you tell it. So Maga, let's go back to this R. Kelly deal.
Mm-hmm.
When you first met him and how you met him. How did you meet him and where and all that? Give us just take it that far and then we go from there.
All right. Well, I went out to Chicago to visit a relative of mine's, and we went out there just to have fun, spend some time with the family. And we went to this thing out there called The Taste. I went over to Waukegan to watch Michael Jordan's sons play basketball. They were at the time kind of like the teenage ages, going into college a little bit, probably, I think. But they were good. Little league. Went out to Waukegan, came back, spent a little time with my family, and I was at the time I was around Star Trek with Pharrell in them, so I had like a different type of persona. I was a skateboard, BMX biker type dude, and I ran into a photographer and a female friend of mine that was asking me if I wanted to meet R. Kelly, and this was like 2008 when he just finished the allegations, I believe, with Sparkle's niece, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, yeah, at the age I didn't see it. So I was like, I don't believe what's on TV. I'm just like everybody, like, man, they just trying to set the man up. So I go, I get to the studio, and when I walk in the studio, it's like he has an entourage full of people. It felt like a presence of power. Like that's the first time in a long time I've seen somebody with a structure that just, the hat, the shades, the no words, and we had to sit down and wait. So once he was done, I guess he had a session with a R&B female. At the time, I didn't know who she was. We waited till
I'm gonna pause this because when he said a structure of power, someone sitting there with the glasses on and with the shades on and just no words. What does that sound like? Sounds like to me like a mob boss. You know what I'm saying? Sounds like the Godfather. Mm-hmm. Ahead of a Rico. That's what it sounds like.
got out. We walked in. And he was like, this little guy, he's good, man. He makes a little different type of music. At the time, I kind of made like the NERD, Pharrellish type Neptune records. And I was like, man, can I play a couple of records for you? So I played a couple of records for him. And he was like, he's kind of bobbing his head to it, like, oh, this kind of puts me in the mood of Pharrell a little bit, man. You kind of remind me like a little kind of skateboard P. So I'm like, yeah, man, this is what I'm trying to pursue as a youngster. Man, I skateboard, I do this. This is the image I want. So he sits back in the chair and he asks for everybody to leave. He's, I want to have a personal talk with him, to see exactly how serious he is. And he's like, what do you know about the industry? And I'm like, just making music. All I know is making music in the studio and doing what I love to do. And he was like, well, you seem like you really don't know the industry. And I was like, well, I make music, sir. All due respect, all I know is the music. He was like, have you ever heard of the Illuminati before? And I was like, no, sir. I now heard of Illuminati from Tupac, but I never heard, But I never heard of Illuminati, you know what I mean? So I tell him, like, no, I don't know anything about that, sir. And he's like, man, you sure you want to be in this industry? And I'm like, yes, this is what I love to do. I love to make music. I love the Matrix.
So he flat out called it the Illuminati.
Yeah, like, flat out called it just straight Illuminati, like straightforward. Like, and it was so weird because, like I told you, his studio was so, you could feel like the energy of power, but it was dark. It was real dark in the studio. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like almost like he didn't. I remember I was watching Surviving R. Kelly, and it was saying, like, some of the girls were saying, like, in the studio where he has like the bedroom in the back studio area, it's the truth. He did, like, and I was thinking the same thing. Like, why does he have a bed inside of the in the studio? Like, I've never seen that. Like, does he want to get romantic in the studio, like, by himself?
Yeah.
Like,
wait, hold on. Before we continue, I know we did get distracted with the show not working and everything.
Yeah.
So I think I did forget to introduce you. This is go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Tell me a little bit about you. Make it real short.
Andre Van, formerly known as Maga Jackson. Just a wonderful musician that just, you know, I put my all into my music, man, and just trying to stay out here and do the right thing and grow at.
Okay, so if you just join in, this is the guy talking, is the one in the hat at the bottom on the screen. He said formerly known as Maga Jackson, so I guess he don't go by Maga anymore, but he supposedly Sharita, he's supposedly Michael Jackson's nephew. This is the first I'm hearing of this guy. He might be a complete weirdo, I don't know, but it's an interesting story, and it, you know, and Sharita, I know, right? It is weird because doesn't it seem like they would not say Illuminati? Wouldn't that be the thing to not say? Isn't that like taboo? Well, now it's not, but back then, because I don't know if they gotten to the point of he was only 14 years old at this time of the interaction. But yeah, let's keep listening, child. Okay, what's going on with my speaker?
And I've been through a lot of things. Testimonies, you probably heard about me before, but it's a fresh start for my brothers, Marlon and Corey. I'm just happy to be here today.
Cool. All right, now let's start where you left off at. You was in the studio because she said you didn't introduce him. She wanted to beat me up. I didn't want to.
All right, yeah.
Illuminati.
Yeah, so he got into. He was like, man, it comes with a lot of, you know, responsibility of being a musician, and everything is not good. He said, I see the influence in you, and I think you can go far. Then he asked me, what is the 3 doors? And I'm like, 3 doors? I'm thinking, you gotta remember, I'm 14 years old. So he's like, what do you know about slander, homosexuality, you know what I mean? And basically the sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm gonna pause it. So he's saying that R. Kelly, this is R. Kelly, he's saying, is asking him as a 14-year-old, this guy, if he's aware of the 3 doors within the Illuminati. So what did he say? Let me go back. I know he said sacrifice, humiliation, or something.
He's like, what do you know about slander, homosexuality, you know what I mean? And basically the sacrifice. You know what I mean? As far as when it comes to sacrificial, like, what do you know about that? And for me, I just played like I don't know anything about that. Like that's something I can't really answer. And I'm like, you know, I just say, oh, could you let me know what that's about? And he's like, you know, at the end of the day, when you're in this industry, you're gonna be certain people are gonna propose certain things to you, and you have to make a choice in life that if you want to be a celebrity or go through downfalls. And I was like, you know, man, I don't know. Like I don't know anything about. Again, I don't know nothing about the Illuminati. So it was very intense to me because it felt like a pressure to me. Like it was. I feel like I was being pressured as a person, as a child, because I didn't understand anything that he was telling me. And then when he broke it down, when he went to the doors, I was like, so I asked him. I said, so what do you mean by sacrificing? It was like, when you sacrifice something, he asked me, when you sacrifice something, what does it mean? I was like, that means you give up something. And he was like, exactly. And he was like, are you a straight person? You know, like, are you what is your choice of, do you like women or you like men? I said, I love women. You know,
You don't like women, you love them.
Okay, let me pause it because he said he's 14 at the time of this conversation. Is that a 14-year-old's dialogue? I love women. I don't know. I've been 14 in a long time. And I don't remember hearing him 14.
And this is what I'm saying. Why would a grown man be asking a child something like that?
Well, hold up now. We are talking about R. Kelly. Now, that part of it doesn't shock me as much talking about R. Kelly. It's just him as a 14-year-old saying, I love women. Like that. It's little things that are like, but the part about a grown man, yeah, that is very creepy and weird. But we're talking about R. Kelly. So, unfortunately, this is the jacket he's wearing. Okay, let's go on.
like or love.
Yeah, like love.
You know, and then he was like, with the slander people go through thing. He said, you see what happened to me on TV, how they tried to lie to me and say that I touched these little girls and tapes. And I was like, I heard about it, but I don't really know too much about the situation. So then he started playing it.
And don't we know R. Kelly to be a non-talking person? Unless it's one-on-one, maybe with somebody he's trying to decide what he want to do with them. Maybe this is an audition process. Because R. Kelly don't talk like that. He talking about his business to a stranger. I don't know. It just seems very strange to me. But I'm a listen though. Yeah, it's a little iffy. Michelle.
Touch these little girls.
Oops. Hold on.
Music. I'm not gonna lie, he played me some records that he did for Michael. One of them was he played the past record, You Were Not Alone. You know what I mean? He played You Are Not Alone. And he said that song was for a girl named Lizette Martinez. That's what he told me. You know, at the time, I guess, I don't know if they were dating or they were together. And I was like,
and now see, come on. He doesn't know if they were dating or together. She's a whole victim and has been very vocal. And would R. Kelly mention Lizette to this 14-year-old that he wrote this song for her? It just seems. Now, see, the first time I heard this, I was just kind of like, wow, what? I mean, I was just shocked. But now I'm like really, really scratching my head. Now,
it's a beautiful song, man. Like, that's one of my, my favorite songs. He was like, yeah. And I was like, man, is there any possible way that I can record with you? Like, is any way I can with you as a kid or get any insight of, just bringing myself to a bigger level? Because remember, I told you at the time I was going to Virginia working with Star Trek with Pharrell, the Neptunes, Malice, Pusha T, the Clips, and everybody else. And he was like, well, listen, before we even do any type of work, I want to let you know how I run things. He said, when you become an artist and you want to be an elite artist, you have to have your own planet. I said, your own planet? What do you mean your own planet? He said, you have to set the norms. And I said, set the norms? Meaning basically everybody abides by your own rules. Meaning that even if anybody goes left or right, it won't matter because you've already established your own work, whether it's politicians, anybody at the time in your circle, you have to set your own norms. And digesting that now, I could see that Robert had a controlling problem. He was very controlling because to tell somebody that at the age of 14 that you to control your own norms and, no matter how you control society and you put your own rules around you, that no matter what, they have to follow those type of rules. And that was for me, that made me very uncomfortable as a person because I'm a child. Like, I'm looking at him like, first of all, this is very aggressive talk. And I understand that's why I give you the appreciation that you're trying to give me an insight, but you're trying to introduce me to things that seem like they have a motive that you're trying to create something behind it. And so I went back and asked him a question again. I said, so could you tell me more about the Illuminati? And I said to him, and he said, listen, if you become a part of the Illuminati, or somebody asks you to become a part of the Illuminati, do not say anything. Leave from them. Do not answer any questions. Walk away from them. They're gonna ask you about those 3 doors. They're gonna ask you about the slander, homosexuality, or sacrifice. And from there, I was able to like vibe out with some of his assistants. I don't know. I'm not sure if Sparkle was there. I'm not sure. Like she looks real. Like when I look at Sparkle now, I feel like I met Sparkle before. She probably remembers me, but I think I've met Sparkle. And I played a couple of more songs from him, and then we left from there. I stayed in touch with him, and like tell him the Illuminati is. I don't know, man. I can't really say like. I didn't take that route. I'll put it like this: I didn't take that route to become a part of the Illuminati.
And so when he did he talk about how far he went or anything anything in detail that he suffered as a result of going through any of the doors?
He just told me that he regretted some of the choices that he made when it came to signing paperwork with his career, on top of the people that he chose to be around him. The norms, as he called them, that was his favorite word, the norms that he decided to have around him. And he did things. He didn't really tell me exactly if he chose a door, but in his small terms, he said, like, I made a decision to better my surroundings for the people around me.
Were you?
Okay. Let me pause. Michelle got the octopuses. So he's talking to this kid and he's saying all these things that he's never said in any other forum. But again, I guess it's supposedly a one-on-one private conversation. I don't know how this man operates in private when he's first meeting a 14-year-old, but maybe this is how he gets down in order to see what he's working with. What do you think, Miss Della? You there?
I'm here. I just think I did listen to some of it. I just think it's disgusting for you. This is that is not how your career is supposed to work. So maybe he was just preparing him. And the last thing, and for what I heard was he decided to go elsewhere. Best decision of that man's life. But this does seem just like his pattern to me.
It does align with what he does, what we've known him to do. Hey, Purple. It does align. But I just questioned the fact that he seemed to be so open with this kid who he didn't know about all these things, these details about his accusations and this and that. Chi-Town OG, this is for y'all. Yeah, so we're talking about R. Kelly, this dude at the bottom. I don't know if you guys have seen this interview. It looks like it's been up since the beginning of the month. But he's supposedly one of Michael Jackson's nephews, and he's a producer who had an encounter with R. Kelly when he was 19. I don't know if you caught that. He said, we kept in touch. I stayed in touch with him. He said that, and he's also calling him Robert. And when I hear somebody calling him Robert, I raise an eyebrow at that because that's like more of an endearing way to address him. Those are like his people more so address him like that. So I don't know. It's just some of the things he's saying that seems a little bit. What's going on, Robert Keller? Long time. Yeah. Okay. While Wayne's back to life, child. Back to life. I was looking for you, Wayne. Okay, so we're listening to this cat. I don't know if y'all have heard this interview, if you believe this guy. Some of the things he's saying does align or line up with how we know R. Kelly to be. But then again, is R. Kelly the dude that's going to really be coming out and saying all this stuff to somebody he doesn't even know, like about the Illuminati and 3 doors? And, again, it could be just a test that he was putting him through to see if he was up on it, if he was ready to go with it, or if this is somebody he didn't want to deal with because they don't know nothing and he didn't want to have to go through the whole training process with this guy. I don't know. But it's a little interesting. Let's listen to some more.
Privy at all to any of the, I know you mentioned the bed. And that was an interesting sight, I'm sure. But were you privy in the time frames that you know him to anyone after you had met with him telling you to be careful around him at the age that you were?
Well, the photographer, which I was going to try to bring him on the show, but he was just like, he just don't want to do it because, you know, like, he lives in Chicago and it's dangerous for him. But he was saying, like, that you just got to be careful for him because it's very, like, he lives in Chicago. He knows how R. Kelly rolls. Like, he rolls around in nice vehicles, and he's around younger kids, and even not only younger girls but younger boys in the industry. It just wasn't
So I'm wondering, when
females.
was this interview? Because he's talking as if we didn't hear all of this throughout these trials. And also, I believe at the beginning of this video, he said that the photographer, I could have sworn it was a female that he referred to that introduced him to R. Kelly, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm just, my antennas are up though.
That he had around him.
In hindsight, do you think he was trying to groom you for something?
I feel like it because, you know, me not understanding, only thing I understood about the studio was get a paper, create, and make music. I was learning. I still was in a learning experience, a younger producer on my own, trying to make my own way. And I feel like it was questions like, you know how you're like, you try to you like, we all had it before, we try to get with a girl and you like, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta so you might even not even ask you, but like so you gotta go with your boyfriend later.
So you pick her ear to try and see where she at.
Yeah, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. You know, so one of those type of things that he was trying to do with me, like it was like trying to see exactly what I knew, if I could get past. I feel like if I would have knew more, then he would have gave me more to digest and understand. You know, but since I didn't know so much, it was like, okay, I'm gonna give you hints, and I'm gonna tell you, do not. But he kept on expressing about these 3 doors, and he kept on expressing to me about the norms, and that's what I wanted to ask you guys. Like, you know, you guys really study. Like, what when he asked me about the norms, what do you feel like he was trying to like break, like give me as far as like news wise, like the norms of creating your own world and being able to control it?
I'm gonna pause it because this is exactly what we know about R. Kelly, that we've learned about him more so throughout, you know, this whole trial process, and even before that with the rumors and all that, and especially with the early 2000s when he was indicted the first time. This definitely lines up, making your own rules. He was all about the rules. Remember, it was all about the rules. We kept saying the rules, the rules. And he also was about his own, creating his own universe, and that's what he did, and that's why he caught up in a RICO, because that RICO was the universe that he was the god of. You understand? So it's just a trip to hear. It's just weird that if this guy is bullshitting, like, who sits around and makes up a narrative like this? It's crazy enough to just be true. I know, Michelle, I never heard it either. Shout out to RL who sent this to me the other day.
And everybody's going to follow protocol regardless, because if they're looked at a different way, then if somebody does something wrong, then basically everybody's going to look at them wrong because the norms are already set.
But that's a simple. It just simply means whatever you was taught was right and wrong. Forget about it and reestablish it and set it for yourself, and don't let nobody intrude in on that. That's your own thoughts about what that is. That way you open to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Once if somebody can get you to believe that you can get rid of all your morals, that's what it comes down to. Get rid of your morals. And then we'll give you a new set of morals and you live by that. That's how I take that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of. I'm going to address 2 things. One,
I just want to tell y'all who's speaking. The guy top right corner is speaking, and it looks like he's wearing a hoodie.
One is towards you, and one's to the audience here. So I'll address the audience first. The only way you can figure out if anyone's telling the truth is to open your ears and shut your mouth. Like that's one for sure way to hear. Constantly saying that it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie is a surefire way not to hear whether or not it's true, it's true, it's true. So you hear the whole story. When you heard the story, then you make your assessment of what is right or wrong. But to chat about it being wrong right off the top just because you feel it's wrong makes you less aware of situations and more inclined to believe any lie because you are looking to hear what you want to hear. At 14, it's a vulnerable age. For me at 14, I know for a fact I did not have anything set in stone in my mind. And it was easy for me to believe stuff. And even if someone were to mention the word Illuminati to me and I didn't know what the word Illuminati meant, I wouldn't go ask you what it meant just because I figured it must be something big. And then you're a big dude, I'm going to listen to you.
Yeah.
After you encountered R. Kelly, how long after that point did you start hearing rumors about what he was doing? Or did you hear stuff about him before then?
Well, I used to go on this thing called LimeWire. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah,
LimeWire.
I remember LimeWire. Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to download like music for free for LimeWire and stuff. And you know, we were little sneaky little things we used to do and look at some little things. So I seen something that popped up and seen it said R. Kelly sex tape. So I'm like, what? Like, you know, as a kid, like, man, like what? R. Kelly sex tape. So I click it open and download it, of course. And I see him urinating on a minor.
That is crazy. I want to make a comment about that. So for him to get away with that on tape, that is different.
It's different.
You write on tape doing this stuff, like on tape. And I'm talking about a real life tape. Did you ever see that tape, Marlon?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to tell you something. I seen it, and I'm ashamed to say that I seen it, but I'm gonna be honest. The reason why I looked at it, and I'm being 100% honest, I didn't believe it.
Same here. I didn't believe it then.
When people were saying that he did that, I was like, man, you got to be crazy. And so the tape was floating around and people were selling the CDs. And he did it, and it's him.
There it is. We know that.
And you got to think about it from like family growing up, cookouts, different things like us growing up. You couldn't tell me that. Like it was one of them things where you was like, nah, you're not. You're just talking crazy. Like R. Kelly didn't pee on no little girl, and we didn't have podcasting. We didn't have anything else like that back then. We didn't have Instagram and those type of things that we can access. You know, I barely even had a phone. You know, my parents wouldn't even let me have a phone. So, you know, it was like, you know, when I got a chance to see that and actually got to that 56K modem and cable modem, you know what I mean, at the time, it took forever to download, and I had to wait almost 14 hours to see videos and different movies. So when I actually got to see it, it was so disappointing. And I knew from there, I made my decision instead of going, because I was supposed to go back to Chicago with my godfather to live out there in the south side of Chicago and go work with them. It was a few artists I was supposed to work out there. And I made my decision instead of staying in Chicago to go to Virginia and work with the Neptunes and Elusive Media, because I mean it was the truth in front of my face. And from there, I started asking more people. It led me to ask more questions about when I seen the truth with him. Like, okay, what is, you know, other people that were my advisors and managers? What is the Illuminati? Until one day, I got addressed for becoming my Illuminati member. And this is where the story gets deep. This is where you guys wouldn't expect I was going to admit this, but oh my gosh, dang. But I ended up joining the Illuminati.
I'm sorry, I had to pause it. That sounds crazy. What's up, Republicrat? Welcome. Are you listening to this, Miss Della? Or are you watching a movie?
I'm listening. I'm doing both.
You can't do both.
Yeah,
Did
I
you?
can.
Did you? Okay. Well, I want to know what you think about what he said about what he just said. I have to admit um, that I joined the Illuminati.
I have no comment on that. But as far
You're like,
as the details with the Pied Piper, I believe every single word that man is saying.
so you do believe it?
Yeah, I do.
Sharita said, "Boy, bye."
And not only that, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of stories like that. Now,
Yeah.
I will say I remember LimeWire. That was my first little download too, as well.
Right.
It did take like 6 hours to get one song back in the day. Um, I believe him. I mean,
Okay. Well,
I
going
can't
back.
just see this. Don't make sense for him just to make up a story like that. And of course, R. Kelly telling him that as a
Mhm.
14-year-old child. And again, as far as the tape, we all know all of this.
I
Now the
wonder if they're
part
going to
about
actually.
making a song for which one was it?
Who? You
Well, he
talking about
said
R. Kelly? Oh,
yes.
Lisette Martinez,
Okay.
which that was known, but the fact that he said it to this kid is weird to me. But R. Kelly's weird, so and not in a good way.
And what happened as a result of that? And how did you join? What happened? Break that down to us. Or did you get out? Break the whole thing down to us.
Yeah, I got out. So I joined the Illuminati, and I had to get a tattoo on the back of my neck, which I'll let you guys like. I don't know if you can see. Tell me if you guys can see it. It's the pyramid on the back of my neck. Did you see it?
Oh
Come a
Lord!
little bit to the right,
Let me fast
Right
forward
here?
the video.
and then go backwards towards your door.
All right.
Back again towards the door, and stay right there.
All right.
I saw it. Back, right there. Is it the one with the stars above it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to get the tattoo on the back of my neck and the crown as on the right side of the pyramid as the golden child. And it was to keep me protected for what my next step was as far as being a entertainment artist.
So did you see the sex tape before or after you met him?
I seen the sex tape after I met him.
Okay.
I heard about the sex tape in Chicago, but everybody around me was like, it's lies, it's not the truth. You know, because everybody was talking about it in school, even kids. You remember that? Like even kids was talking about it. It was everybody.
That was a big deal.
It was in everybody's household. So I was like, I'm not believing it, and I was on a move too. Like my main thing was like, how can I be heard? How can I step out and be this artist and be one of these artists that are heard on a platform, MTV, BET. It was unrealistic to me to even get to that, being that skateboarder BMX bike inspired by the Pharrell type thing. You know what I mean? Like I was more into the skateboard thing. So I know they wasn't back then. They wasn't those. We only had your Lupe Fiascos and Pharrells. It wasn't really. There wasn't no Tylers now and different people, ASAP Rockies that and Lil Wayne on the skateboard. There was none of that before then. And I was around. I took that style and embedded it. I learned it, studied it.
So when you joined the Illuminati, what was promised to you and what happened? Let's talk about that.
All right. When I joined, it was promised me fame, to be around any superstar that I asked, and you have to go from levels. It's 3 levels and 3 steps. When you get to the 3 steps, which he was right about it, you have to you have to choose a door to get out, and I chose the door of slander. And I kind of you can sort of say, I want to use the word because, people try to use that scam allegation nonsense, but I kind of manipulated my way out of the Illuminati by self-destructing, self-destructing my image that they wanted to rise.
Did they approach you in any way, shape, and form by force in order to be, once you were in, to conduct yourself in any kind of sexual manner in the gay lifestyle?
It was offered.
Was it offered as a ultimatum or an option?
It was option. It was ultimatums too. It was ultimatums and options.
And you didn't pick that one. You didn't have to go through that. They didn't force it upon you. How long were you in?
They tried to groom me. Like, I've never had anybody, and once again, I don't have nothing against anybody. I don't want to get on here and people like, oh, he's a homophobic or whatever. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? As long as you don't come on to me, I'm cool. But when I went to Hollywood, I went out to Hollywood, and these individuals, which I can't speak upon, we went to a party. And when I walked in the party, like, I noticed something different. It was very flamboyant and very, very happy. I use the word very happy. And I never had a man come to me and say, like, straight up and go, oh my God, you're very, 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 very sexy. Like, and they wanted to see my reactions.
So they gauged you.
Huh?
They gauged you?
Yeah, like basically like come to this party, let's see how he reacts inside this party. And see if he's gonna go for it. And then it was, showing a lot of money and showing like, oh, this guy's his father, he thinks you're cute over there. His father owns this building right here. That type of stuff.
So there are people that will say that you haven't really left it because of what you wear, how you dress, what you say, and all that stuff.
Well, he didn't even say, did he do anything at the party? What'd you do at the party, dude? Sharita, what you mean you went out to Hollywood? He must be an outside child. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who is this guy? Where is he from? He said he was visiting Chicago. There was a godfather involved somewhere. He met a photographer who introduced him to R. Kelly. He's 14 years old. So are their parents? I mean, the Jacksons. I mean, I don't know. Just seems a little.
You're just trying to hide, and you are part still of the Illuminati. And this is what an Illuminati person would say to try and tell people that they're not a part of the Illuminati while still being in the Illuminati. And I've heard people say it's not easy to get out. Now, whether it's the real deal or not, I have received both inboxes, emails, and phone calls from people claiming to be in the Illuminati.
Yes.
And the very first thing they do is offer the idea that you can get what you want, when you want it, how you want it. And I haven't saved any of the mess. Most of it came through either WhatsApp or in my Messenger inbox.
Mm-hmm.
The story goes that you can't just get out. So if you've gotten out, and I know you said that you kind of tricked your way out, and what exactly was your method of how you got freed from them? And how are they that willing to either let you go or you're not dead even trying to get out? How is that? People won't believe that. So
because there's no way of success when all bridges is burned. Like there's never going to be a door open for Andre Van, aka Maga Jackson, Geppetto Jackson. Like you see the aliases. Like it'll never.
Andre Geppetto Jackson. Is that what he said? I write that down. So people in the chat are asking, why didn't you get that tattoo removed if you're no longer with them? And also, So what he's saying, I guess, is that he has self-destructed in a way where he knows at this point that he's burned all his bridges. He won't be able to go anywhere in the entertainment industry. So at this point, they've thrown him away because he's of no use to them. And he's not even a known enough figure to do any damage should he come out as he's doing now. He said Geppetto. Okay.
Be an open door ever. It'll never be. It'll just be a voice, a reason of a myth that this man is crazy. You know, what man receives. You gotta understand this. I didn't have any priors. I didn't have nothing. I take the I get arrested on a scheme to defraud charge because they said that I didn't have an LLC and self-proprietorship. We go back and forth trying to figure out what we're going to come to agreement for in court.
Mm-hmm.
The money is not raised to pay the quote-unquote victim. And when at the time, if I would have had an LLC self-proprietorship, then I would have been able to be scotch-free from it. Had been a contract dispute, which me not understanding what business was. The judge handed me down a 5-year with 85% sentence in 25 years probation that I'm on right now.
So when you joined, they obviously gave you something and you had to do something. Can you talk about that?
Well, when they gave me money, I chose. All right, remember I told you it was steps.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me money, a significant amount of money, and access to everybody, every celebrity in Hollywood.
Ms. Shanti said that he didn't answer. What was the question that you was, or did he answer your question?
Well, the question really was, what did you have to do to get out? That was one of the questions. But the other one was really, how did you get in?
How did I get out?
Mm-hmm.
I self-destructed. They don't want to deal with me because to the public, I'll always be
a pariah.
The Andre Van, the fake Jackson scam artist.
And you didn't have to do some of the stuff that the Illuminati normally offers, which is kill somebody, offer somebody's life up, bend over, take it, none of that stuff. How is it then that you managed to avoid all of that? Or were you not at the level that most enter in? Do you think they gauge it based on how far they think you can get? Or, but it seems, I'm going to be, you know me, I'm a straight shooter.
Of course.
I'm going to ask the questions that people are wondering.
Yeah.
From all the things we've heard about the Illuminati, they don't just let you in willy-nilly, and 2, they don't let you go willy-nilly. Case in point, R. Kelly. When you don't want to play ball, even Michael Jackson, you don't want to play ball, you die. Anytime you don't play ball, you die. If you do play ball, you live, and sometimes you get what you want. What did you have to give to them for them to give to you?
I had to give them my loyalty. Like, as far as everything had to go through them. That's the first stage, is the loyalty and the test of grooming you. They tried to groom me it was the grooming stage. It never got to, because the money was the grooming stage. You stay here in the background. You come to the meetings. You do exactly what we tell you to do. You don't answer nothing else. You don't control anything. It's the control. They snatch control from you. You're mute. You're just a voice in the studio. That was the first stage. And I gave them that. But when I got to Hollywood and I was able to maneuver and get around other celebrities that had more power that weren't a part of it, well, I can't say for sure they weren't a part, but I never know, they might need to go oath. But I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna bring it down to you. It's a difference between I don't want to say too a six god and a golden child. It's a difference between those two.
What's the difference?
A sixth god is a Satanist. A golden child is an Elite, but has an end to his demise. You know what I mean? It's somebody that they pick and they put you on the highest level that you can be. And that's why you see when they see people, they throw up the 6, and I'm not throwing, they throw up the 6. Those are all of them are, they consider themselves as gods. They're their own gods.
Okay.
So as soon as he said that, I thought about Drake. That was one of Drake's mantras. So this guy, welcome P. Edward. Now P. Edward, I was dying laughing. Let me find that comment. You said this man is in no way related to the Jackson unless it is Samuel Jackson. Oh, Michael, brother, kids, sons have been posted in Max when young with him. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I think we're pretty familiar. There is a cousin or someone on his TikTok who supposedly is saying, yeah, he is our cousin. And I don't know who she is, though. So this thing is almost over. Let me see how many minutes is left, because this is a bit much. I don't know. You guys were rolling your eyes. You different than his chat. They seem very supportive of him, maybe because he's there in person. A couple of the P Hive came into the chat, of course. He had to check them. I think that's coming up, but yeah, for the most part, people seem like they believe what he's saying. I mean, I don't know. Just looking at R. Kelly, I wouldn't be surprised if there is such thing as an Illuminati, if R. Kelly was a part of it, based on his status at the time, of his the levels that he's gotten to and the access that he had. And when you break the rules, then you end up in a position like him, where he's at right now. And R. Kelly, he only want to follow his own rules. So, but let's hear a little bit more.
One more quick statement to the audience. If you are defending R. Kelly, you are just as nasty as him. I just want you to be sure that you call him Kells, and he shouldn't be talking about R. Kelly. If you're here to defend R. Kelly, something wrong with you. Like, something definitely wrong with you if you're defending R. Kelly.
And I bet you we shouldn't be talking about him because he's black.
Yeah, because he's black. Like, yeah, you seen him in here. It's always because he's black, you can't talk, but he a nasty man. And you probably nasty too, so defend him.
Them the same nasty clowns that give their daughters to him.
Yeah, they probably already did. Especially I'm looking at one in particular. I'm betting he sold probably his mom and sister.
I don't understand why this is a problem when I'm here sharing a story. I didn't throw him in the hot water. I just told you what he told me about the Illuminati. Like, they're acting like I'm sitting here scorching the man. Like I said, he tried to touch me or something. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the absolute truth. Is they're mad because they expected something different. You see what I'm saying?
Well, people are always expecting what they want to hear, which is why I said what I said.
What I'm getting, let me just tell you what I'm getting from this kid. I feel like there was a conversation, and I don't think he's giving us everything. I think there was some engagement between him and R. Kelly. I don't think he's telling us that part. But yeah, there have been conversations and pillow talk, and he already admitted that he had stayed in touch with him. So this was an ongoing conversation or conversations with R. Kelly. He's going to talk about a more recent, or I guess a fast forward to another time we saw each other situation. He seems to try to cover up the fact that they was probably a little closer than what he wants us to believe.
Which is why I'm just making sure people understand that if you're here to defend, because none of us are here to defend R. Kelly's behavior. What he did.
This might be for you, P. Edward. I don't know.
He did, and he is deserving of every ounce of jail time. And if you defend his actions by saying it's all a lie, then you are probably just like him, and you're hoping that you could get away with the same stuff he got away with, and you like it. If you're a pervert, you see what I'm saying? Look there. You see what I'm saying? Just block her completely, bro. Like, kick her completely.
What's the name?
The Janet lady, that perverted, nasty tramp. Just block her.
Oh.
completely. You ain't gonna come in here and insult me and our guest and expect to be treated like a female. You're a hoe at this point, and you need to
Oh.
leave. You need to be gone. We ain't in here defending no kind of perverted person that's raping children. And if you are
Oh.
here to defend a child rapist, you're a
Oh.
child rapist too.
Our word.
Plain and simple.
Mm.
Right? So when we have people coming to tell you that you've been hearing stuff for a long time, I breaking it down on exactly what they say in the background. He lying. But meanwhile, you're listening to people that's saying the same thing in their songs, and you see Rihanna doing the same thing, and you see a little homosexual, what's his name, LeBron, throwing up the same sixes.
Oh.
That's not a problem to believe, but when people tell you that it's happening, it's a problem.
That's why I said I can't give them nothing. They're gonna call me crazy. And like that's why I said I'm trying to bring it down for them to understand it. Like we can have a conversation in the background but they won't understand it if I take it to that level because they wouldn't believe this. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm trying to give it to them.
Wait a minute.
They can digest.
See, he's saying something right there, and somebody in the chat said he's hiding something. I mean, not that she's confirming. I'm just saying it's not just me. But did he just say there is more to it? But I'm only giving you a certain level of it. See,
it does seem like he left something out.
Yeah,
he left probably a whole lot out.
He did. Let me see.
For them to understand it, like we can have a conversation. That's why I said I can't give them nothing. They're gonna call me crazy.
This is why I can't give them nothing. They're gonna call me crazy. He hasn't even scratched the surface of really happened between him and R. Kelly. That's what I'm getting. He ain't really telling us. He's giving us just this little conversation. Mm-hmm.
That's why I said I'm trying to bring it down for them to understand it. Like we can have.
He bringing it down.
A conversation in the background but they won't understand it if I take it to that level because they wouldn't believe this. You see what I'm saying? So
what he wants to tell us is unbelievable, y'all. It's so unbelievable. Well, it's not really. We've heard the stuff on the stand, but he's a John Doe. I mean, that's what he's allegedly. I'm not gonna say he is. What I'm getting is intuitively, he possibly had John Doe experience with R. Kelly.
Like I'm trying to give it to him so that they can digest the little piece of steak, take this home with them and learn. You know what I mean? There's a sixth God and there's a golden child. Pay attention. Pay attention to it.
And these things could very well be true as far as what he's saying was told to him about this. Like I said, Drake and his, look this up with Drake and you'll see this stuff could be some nuggets he's trying to drop. Maybe there is an agenda for him to be on this platform and giving this information out for people to absorb whatever reason. I don't know, but tablet is running slow. Okay. Okay.
Is it over?
I thought that was you. Oh, I was looking in the chat. No, I was just looking at it's just almost over. Yeah. I was looking at P at work. I was looking in the chat of this interview and people are basically like, yeah, this guy, he's not being all the way 100. Something's not adding up. Yeah, but some people are bringing up Drake. Yeah, something else is going on. But let me finish this up.
There's a sixth God and there's a golden child. I just showed you guys my tattoo on the back of my neck. I'm not going to get the Illuminati symbol put on my back of my neck because of this. This is misguided. It's called misguidance. Misguided. What's wrong with this guy? What is wrong with him?
So have you ever been affiliated with the Masons?
I sat with the Masons. I ate with them.
Yeah, I've sat and talked with them too.
Well, you lying, Corey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Of course. I mean, I didn't join it or nothing. It didn't sound right to me, and that's what I expressed right then and there. And I said, no, this don't sound right because y'all won't answer my questions. They said they keep telling me that you got to ask the right questions to get the right answer. Okay, well then, how about this? No. and I never. I got approached about 3. It was like 3 times though. I declined it every time.
So,
come to me.
Question again. You said just a second ago that if you were to go in even more detail, they definitely won't believe it. Assuming that they would believe it, or assuming that we don't care if they believe it, because if it's the truth, it's the truth, right? Can you define for me? I have 2 questions about the golden child thing and the 6 God thing. I have heard the term 6 God before in rap songs, multiple rap songs, and especially by really, really rich ones. Okay, I've heard them mention it before, and I have seen multiple basketball players put it up in at least the symbol itself during games, after games, post games, and all stuff like that. When you got initiated as the golden child versus the 6 God, were they bringing you into a set level of what, either income or influence, or was that just the initiation phase? Is that like, did they have an end game for the golden child level, or was it just to see how much you would give in to take you to the next level?
I asked them, okay, if I be a part of this committee, as the sense of it was broken down to me, this is family, this is a committee. You're going to be honorable. You're going to be honored. I used to use that word a lot. I'm honorable. You know what I mean? I got that from them. They groomed that in me. If you ask anybody that knows me from the back, I used to throw that word around. I'm honorable. Like, who are you talking to? I'm honorable. Like, but it was like the honorable field.
I think people who have to go around and just continue to say that I'm honorable or I'm this, to convince people, and all the time, because I know there's people that do that too. That's the people you don't trust. You don't need to keep telling me. You're supposed to show through your actions who you are. If you have to keep arguing to people how honorable you are, then something is not right. He had said something I was going to address, but this guy, I don't know, it's just weird to me how he has all this information that he's just giving out freely, showing us this tattoo that he still has. If he's supposedly not with these people or denouncing this organization or whatever you want to call him, why does he still have the brand on him? And he's out here talking about it like he's recruiting, giving out all the information. So when he comes to follow up with you, just make sure if you guys get approached, tell him no. Just turn away from him. Don't get bought up, because they're gonna offer you money and all kinds of things.
I'm pretty sure he got more to say. He's
Who?
leaving off a big chunk. Did he actually say how he got out?
Let me see. I think they asked him. It's not quite over though. Let me see.
And they showed me that I was honorable because I was groomed to be very promiscuous, because I had to sleep with a lot of popular industry women.
Okay. He was groomed to be very promiscuous. So what he's saying is R. Kelly introduced him to it. And then he went through, I guess, all these different people and channels where he went through a grooming process. And he said he's groomed to be promiscuous. Okay, that says a lot.
And I felt as if that was, at the time they made me feel like this is the superstar. All the girls want you because you're this. And kept on bringing me to these parties, and that's when the alcohol came. And luckily I was strong enough and raised by a wonderful household to not step into the drugs, because that's what they plan to. If you notice, every Elite, so to say, this is their thing, that they have a drug habit. They have a drug habit, and all of a sudden they're gone because they couldn't control their drug habit.
Who was the most famous that they had you sleep with?
Marlon, you want me to give that to you?
Yeah, we need names.
That's right.
Drop the names.
That's what I'm talking about. We need names.
Just one, the most famous.
One, Stacey Dash.
The Christian one, or before she was Christian?
Before.
Stacey Dash.
Didn't you have a video somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that on that. Yeah, Stacey. She a Christian now?
Yeah.
Ah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, she's all over the internet with her faith now.
Well, I'm wondering, was he of age when this happened? He said it was a part of his grooming process.
Oh, I can believe it. I can believe it. You know, she got canceled.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she got canceled. And that's a shame. And you know it had to be something behind that because she's extremely beautiful, really talented, and got canceled. I forgot what they said she did.
Is she really
I think it was
talented?
one of her political views or something like that?
Yeah, she was.
Was that something Stacey Dash was? Would we say that to her when she was really talented? I don't know. But she was a Maga girl, wasn't she?
She was a Maga girl.
There we go.
Yeah.
A Trump girl. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she was canceled, and that was a bad thing. I'm gonna leave that part alone. I got some comments about that.
Yeah, I got one more question, if that's okay.
All right, Marlon.
All good.
I had to give it to Marlon because Marlon, you know,
I would have gotten out of it. I would have got it out of you one way or another. I would have dragged it out somehow.
Yes,
If once R. Kelly has been exposed for what he was doing, did they ever try to reach back out to you, either to encourage you to back him up or defend him or to tell you don't say anything at all?
I ran into him in Hollywood on a Christmas carpet, and he recognized me. It was funny, like it was. I was like, "This is different." That's why I started growing my afro out because my hair was short then too. Like around the time I met him, I had like a low cut waves. But you know, I ran into it. It was a very just uncomfortable feel. He was just trying to. It's like you know, a person like now that he knows that I know is like. You do too much, you too jitty. What's going on, man? How you been? The hugs, the embracement, it was too fake. Like, I don't even really know you like that.
You notice how he just really just went around that whole question? That man asked him if he had been approached about R. Kelly, whether to support him or back off of him after everything went down with him in court. And he just talking about some other stuff.
You know, I got the opportunity to sit in front of you and hear some weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't really. We're not friends. You know what I mean? I was put in front of your photographer who deals with you on a daily basis, and it made me question it. I left the photographer alone too after that. I forgot to tell you guys about that. I left the photographer alone. I never when I used to go back and forth to Chicago, I never called him again because I'm like, for you to bring me to him. And you're around him the way you are, you take all these photos, you got thousands. I'm talking about he showed me stuff that people has never seen before, like behind the scenes in his camera of all the photos he's ever took of R. Kelly. And you don't know anything about this stuff, but you tried to bring out all this, and he knew more celebrities from Chicago. He could have took me to Kanye West. He did photo shoots for Kanye West. But you, out of all the people you bring me to.
That's just as bad, ain't it?
Huh?
Kanye West just as bad, ain't he?
Just as bad, but he not sleep with no children, though.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know. That is true.
Yeah, I don't. I really.
You know, who is this photographer? That's what I want to know. And he said he left the photographer alone, but earlier on he said he had invited the photographer to come on to the show with him. So you must still be in touch with him somehow, and to be feeling cool enough to invite him on, especially if you didn't aren't dealing with him anymore, and he probably knows why. You inviting him on the show, I mean, that seemed like you was putting him up, trying to set him up a little bit. But this is, I want to know what the time frame. When did this interview actually happen? It just got put up, but was it before, after these convictions? Because they don't seem to be talking about the fact that he's facing that he's not facing, but that he was sentenced to 31 years or whatever, 51 if you want to say it.
No, I'm not accusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I don't know. But that man, he's a weirdo in
Yeah.
terms of what he's doing, and then you got people that are worshiping him. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's self-idolization.
Yeah, it's bad, man. So what's your plans moving forward, man?
My plans is moving forward is taking my big brother's advice, man. Just recreating the image, and just if it's not righteous, I'm not touching it. I'm gonna continue to expose the stories that I know on the platform with Too Strong. My loyalty is to you guys, and we're gonna keep fighting this corrupt industry. And I hope God protects all of us. And this is what I'm gonna stand on from now on. I'm not here for, like Corey said, some wonderful things and gave me some wonderful advice. Me and Mom always have personal conversations, and he's like, you gotta take the glove off, man. You gotta stop trying to be in the image of, the Jacksons. You gotta stop being in the image of everybody else and just be Andre Van.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm working on. Like, just instead of being who I was groomed to be, to just be me. That's what I want to be. I'm comfortable with just being me now. And just to have brothers like you and Marlon, I appreciate you guys for always keeping it honest with me.
Okay. So that's the end. All right, Miss Della. That thing is over. I done lost half the people left.
Stacy Dash. Why would he use her out of all the people?
Well, she must have did it. I'm trying
Her
to
career. I
question.
mean, what I remember, she had a horrible pill habit.
Really, she's well,
Yes,
like they
Stacey
said,
Dash,
she's
right? The one that played in Clueless.
mm-hmm.
Yes, she
Well,
lost
like they said,
everything, and
she's
like
been
I think,
canceled.
yeah, she lost everything. And I do recall, I can't remember. It might have been Dr. Phil or whatever, one of those shows. She was saying she was taking like 20 pills a day, Vicodin and stuff a day. She lost everything. I remember she was arrested for battery. Ugh. But anyway, very interesting stories. Glad
I
he's
thought
coming
she
out
was.
with that now.
I know.
Mhm.
We're gonna probably hear a lot more stuff, being that he's locked up like that and he's been sentenced already by both these trials. People probably do feel more comfortable speaking out, with their
It seemed
stories
like
and
he had a. It seemed like he had a rough little life.
child. That Lola Bunny story was weird.
Yeah,
um,
it was weird, but it's normal for him.
right, especially back then. This movie was 1996, so this was leading up to the movie while they were filming in the early 90s. Yeah, for sure he did that.
You heard what that man said. Anybody that's defending R. Kelly, get the hell up out of here.
I sure did. Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense. But anyway, so I can move on to Trump now if you don't mind.
Well, if you see the screen, you ready? You on?
Oh, okay. Okay, so of course he's always announcing something. That's what he does. Just like when they raided Mar-a-Lago, no one knew, but he told everybody. Again, that's what they do for criminals. They lock your ass up. As you know, he got multiple cases out there. Mar-a-Lago is one of them. That's the one that I'm hoping that they hurry up and get done, because that taking those secret document that he wasn't supposed to be taking, and then there's still documents missing. But anyway, regarding this situation, um ain't nobody, you go out there and protest if you want to, your ass gonna be in jail. It's not a protest, more like it's a party. he can get arrested just like everybody else. They got to work out the details. So this indictment is regarding that Stormy Daniel, ex porn star, when he paid, she was paid $130,000 campaign money, hush money, to keep her quiet because he was running for president back in 2016. That you try to you try to take all pull all the weeds out, get everything clean, so you won't have no bad baggage on you when you're trying to run for president. Michael Cohen was Trump's former, as they call him, the fixer. He was his attorney for like 10 years. Michael Cohen went to jail for this shit. He actually was sentenced for 3 years. And then he got out because of the pandemic. He has testified probably over 20 times. Trump had him to do this. So of course, what he does. What he does best is lie, saying he had an affair with this lady right after the woman had Melania had her damn son. He this dirty. So they have enough interviews. They have enough evidence on him. So they're gonna charge him, and they told him most likely to be on Tuesday. So they working out something with Secret Service to bring him in. Of course, he wants it done as a big show, so you can imagine what Tuesday is gonna be. Donald Trump with handcuffs. They don't even have decided yet if they even gonna put handcuffs on him. He's a criminal. You have been charged with something. You have to you must be handcuffed, and then of course they have to fingerprint him. And of course they'll let him out, but that's what he's saying. He's trying to say that it's the Democrats. Every time something is wrong, the Democrats didn't make you pay her. And then that's where he calling that woman horse face. So that's basically what's going on right now. They got enough evidence to charge him. Like I said, Michael Cohen went to jail for 10 years for that. He didn't give a shit about him. Left that man hanging dry. And, he did. He paid the money. And she also testified numerous times, trying to say he never even met her. The only thing he did was take a picture with her because she does have a picture with him. They had an affair.
Of course he's gonna say that. So you're saying basically we're on arrest watch right now, or we're gonna
Yes.
you
I
think we're
think
gonna
they've
see
already
that?
told his lawyers
Mm-hmm.
that most likely he will be indicted on Tuesday. And the last I heard, that was earlier today, that they're working out something with the local police and his Secret Service, because all all ex-presidents have to have Secret Service, and how they gonna bring his ass in and arrest him. That's just
Hmm.
one. I'm waiting on the big one for Mar-a-Lago to come.
That's a trip that Putin had the international arrest warrant out on him.
That is true, and that's good. Hoping they catch his ass.
Yeah, they're like, good luck getting them though. Um, Easy Rider, what's up? Yeah, I did a live on Corey Holcomb. We listened to some of that crap he was talking. I mean, Corey Holcomb is a R. Kelly minion. Okay, Jason Finch. Nobody's lying on R. Kelly. If you're speaking on me, I was gonna be nice to you, but you come in here talking about people lying on R. Kelly. Nobody's lying on R. Kelly. And R. Kelly ain't even spoke out on his own behalf. But yeah, here you
Sure
are.
enough, he ain't said one word. So again, I hate to have to hash this up. The man is already in jail. The man said nothing on the stand, both New York or Chicago. All of a sudden now he's making rounds because of what? He wants to know
Oh, not
how the
me.
girl, huh?
Oh, he said it's not me. I said, oh, okay, thank you. I'm just making
He
sure.
wants to know how the girlfriend, sorry, the his one of his girlfriends that he's had for 5 years, trapped, don't talk to the parents, not allowed to go out, not allowed to do anything. He wants to know what the hell happened. Why all of a sudden she just up and leave? Because 3 months before he was about to be sentenced, he found out that the BOP officer had his emails with a YouTube blogger. So I'm gonna go back again. I think it's unfair, and I would be pissed too. I would be pissed if someone took my private emails and shared them. I'm pretty they should know that. I'm pretty sure that they know everything is being monitored. But to take somebody's private emails and share them, that's not cool. But enough to whatever was up in those emails, enough to have your girlfriend to leave you and tell the truth. To tell the truth for everything that was happening to you. That's your only concern. That's it. None of the evidence, none of the other victims, none of this. None of this makes sense. None of you can give a shit less. All you care about is this instant because is the ultimate goal of all of this is to start enough chaos where, like I said, they're sending letters to the Department of Justice or whatever the hell they sending them to. But is the goal of this to start enough chaos to have them to throw out the case? So I mean, I don't know. Is that what the goal is? To start so much chaos, disruption that they try to
That's
throw
not
out the
how
case?
the court doesn't necessarily work that way, does it? As far as the
I've
public
never heard
goes,
of anything like that.
you have to be within the realm of the legal system with regard to throwing a case out. Like that stuff has to go through a process.
And so you never thought about this? So this is what I'm saying. It took 6 months to sentence him. However, you knew when she came down there, you said, well, like you got on the channel and said, I don't understand, how she knew I did say these things. I did say these things. You do this. So all it's doing is his doing. It's nobody else's doing. This is all on him. Playing your little games and again, I don't think I think that maybe that's what the goal is. They had because somebody turned on you, that don't mean the whole case should be thrown out.
He feels that his case was jeopardized due to the leaks, and also who is to say what else was leaked and to whom else? And also, if he wants to have this investigated and be a part of his appeal process, um, that would include at some point bringing Azriel back into it, as well as who knows who else, maybe his attorneys at the time, because I do remember something going on where, remember when he was accusing somebody of recording him when one of the attorneys or something had happened pre-trial. I just feel like he is somebody put this in his ear that this could be your ticket home.
Well, that's not gonna be his ticket home. How the hell that's gonna be his ticket home? Because a girlfriend decided to leave you and go back and go and tell the truth. How the hell that's gonna be your ticket home? I'm pretty sure everything that everything that she said is true. That's what we lived in, a happy home. We ate shit. We slept with all these different people. I got my ass whipped. That's not a happy home. She happy now.
And I got
She's
herpes.
free to do what the fuck she wants to do. But you concerned about that because she rolled out on you.
Well, he sure is making a big stink about it
Of course he is. And,
all this
and if
time later.
if you felt that way, sue the damn jail. Sue the jail.
He
Sue
made
the
it,
jail.
and he made it really clear he was only addressing the officer and not the whole organization, which was weird. Like, why aren't you addressing the whole bureau?
Well, I understand that there was didn't he say there were other people that reviewed his emails too. It was reviewed like 150 something times.
Yeah, they had
So
said
again,
60 or more people who worked at the jail, which is common. They continue to say as well. This is a very common thing. You think they're going to open the door for these prisoners to be able to sue and complain and get cases overturned for leaked information, leaked emails and calls? You know how many of them probably this has happened to?
that's true. Every time you email, of course they're gonna your email and all that's supposed to be monitored. But if I have to go back to what TK said, that particular BOP officer was a wino fan. She loved her. So let me just send you that. So again,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it.
I mean, he is he. This is a big quote, a fallen star. I'll say. At the time, he was a big star, and it's not a lot of cases like his. We've not seen any cases like a superstar coming in on these child, sex abuse charges and pornography and all this kind of stuff. And he's from Chicago. Um, this person took an opportunity, and a lot of people, other people may have gotten paid as or had access to platforms that they leak stuff to as well. Nobody's going to want to say anything. Nobody wants to go to jail behind. Well, some people have already.
Exactly. And that's why, and then think about this. You had what you had, 5 witnesses. That's all you had. You claimed that you didn't do well, you ain't claimed nothing because you ain't say shit. But you had 5 witnesses in the New York case. That's it. And half of these people seen you what years and years prior to this. So no, if that's the goal, to write letters and do this because one of your girlfriend, because you were playing games or whatever the hell you were doing, playing each other, and that's exactly what he was doing. He thought it was gonna be, and again, I don't know, but I don't think that anything is going to be they're going to kick out and throw the cases out and do a retrial because of this.
Easy,
But
easy said.
that gives him hope.
I guess so. The Easy Rider said, "Why all of a sudden he's calling random people, and they wasn't there supporting him? Make it make sense." So you're saying the people he's reached out to on these platforms, they haven't been supporting him. I agree with that. That's funny to me.
And
Yeah,
didn't that man say Miss Winbush, he talked to her, I think is to try to get people with large platforms, people with a whole bunch of followers. So, that some of those people can go and start sending emails. I guess you get the biggest people you can. Well, not the biggest, but the goal is, oh my God, this person may got 1 million followers. Let me play, let me reach out to them and then, or that individual, and let me reach out to his fan base or his viewers and see if I can get these viewers to send letters as well. That's the goal he's trying to do. But again, deep down, they all know what kind of person this man is. And that is laughable because out of all of this is all you worried about. You ain't worried about nothing else. You're not worried about poor little poor RL.
he can't do nothing about those things. That's why, like this particular thing, what I'm getting is that he feels like he was wrong, and it's something he could actually use to prove his treatment, or that something wasn't right, and those other things aren't going to do that for him. Those other things are not are going to basically make him just look even worse. Like, why are you going against something? You didn't say nothing in court. You didn't That was the time to fight this. Bureau of Prisons, Easy Rider. Bureau of Prisons. The officer in question, Officer A, they call her. She was I think, what do they call those hearings? A parole hearing officer, or someone who hears, the the person that wants to go on parole. They hear the testimony and they make the judgment. That was another thing that he had a problem with. Like, I might come up on this person when it's time for me to come out, even though the person's retired now. But that
Lord,
just
that
gives
person better hope they never find her, him or
okay. And
her.
I know, right? And I think as well, maybe for R. Kelly, this shows him that the system is just that messed up for him. Like, you got the cards stacked against you real bad. Even something like this happened and nobody cares. He's not used to that.
And she shouldn't have done it. I would probably be pissed too. She shouldn't have done it. But why the hell it take him that long just to figure that out? He said he didn't find this out until 3 months before he was getting ready to be sentenced. He could not understand it. It been keeping him up wondering what the hell happened. Why would she leave me? This girl, you thought you had this girl locked down and you didn't.
Well, he was wondering where she got the information. Like, how does she know that? Who is she talking to? And he probably blamed Joycelyn or said, you told her what I told you. It probably caused even more discord between all of them. But he set it up that way in the first place. That's how he operated, to keep people divided.
And can you imagine this? Two people in the same house, two girlfriends, but not allowed to just. So your girlfriend A, you're telling her one thing, and girlfriend B, you're telling her something else. But A and B are not allowed to talk about what you say to each one of them.
Right.
How the hell you gonna be in a relationship like that?
A controlling
And there you
one.
go. You don't play. This is what I'm saying. You've been doing this shit for years, and it caught up with you.
Yeah. Yeah, we know
That's right.
Jason. It
No
happened in
control no
2019.
more. It's over.
It happened in 2019. He didn't figure it out and get the information until the trial either had started already or was ending. He was waiting on his sentence, I think, or conviction. I mean, the verdict, or I don't remember when exactly he found out. But he found out a long time before now, that's for sure. So
Well,
maybe
on that
his
call, he
attorney.
said that. On that
ma-
call, the one for Storm Moreau, he said, I didn't find out until three months before I'm gonna get ready to be sentenced. I just couldn't think. I just didn't understand how
Well,
would she
it
leave
came out
me?
during the trial, though. It came out during the trial. That's why the motion got so his attorney filed the motion about it, and it was during the trial, though. The trial was going, and I remember it was like a big deal, like, because you remember who was in it: Tasha K, McGee, like, and the judge denied it. So he knew about it, and so at that time he was probably worried about other things. But when it came back around to him, he put it together, like, oh, this is how she found out. Do I have a case here? He probably talked to Bonjean, and she said, go ahead and do what you want to do. She probably don't give a damn, as long as he's busy doing something. So he's not on her fucking back all the time. She gave him a project, something to do that's just spinning his wheels.
That's
That's all it
true. Because if
is.
you think it's gonna be thrown out, you think that. Can you imagine going to a judge? Can you back going to? I just can't imagine. This is your throw the case out or retrial because I told one girlfriend, what did he say? How did she know that the money behind the blue cow? I told one girlfriend to hide the money behind the couch because I was saving the money for attorneys in there. And she found out because one of the officers gave it to somebody else and they gave it to the parents. And the next thing you know, she left me. I want the case redone over for this.
Well, if the case was hinging on that particular thing, and that particular thing didn't pan out for him, and now he's finding something, that's something else. But this thing had nothing to do with his convictions. So whatever he's trying to do, like I said, I think Bonjean is just giving him a hamster wheel to spin on, because this is really going nowhere. And on that note, I got to end this live, child. My alarm been going off because I got something to do. But I appreciate y'all coming in. Okay, Jason, thanks for coming in. Easy, Wow Wang, Michelle, Republicrat, you, Miss Bella. Jason be coming in here. He puts his boxing gloves on. It's like, I'm going in.
Thank you, Jason.
It's
Keep
all
on coming
love.
in.
Yeah, I mean, as long Jason knows how to handle himself over here. So, it was good seeing old Robert Keller. Yeah, and yeah, if you're in the replay, let me know you stopped by. It was good seeing y'all. And yeah, till next time, y'all. I'll be back on maybe tomorrow. Republic Crap. Peace.
Bye.